Okay, first thing you need to do is pull in your hose. Trying to find out why your hose is kinking up. And usually the first thing you need to check is your pressure to see if you have the right amount of pressure. Okay, make sure your Hayward doesn't get out of the water right now because we're going to check for pressure. We'll keep that underwater. And then we're going to go for the regulator right here. If you can see the marks, minimum, maximum. Okay, we're going to go underwater. Get the air out, and then we're going to hook it up, and we want to make sure that we're in between the marks here. You can see there's minimum and maximum, and we are right dead center, so we're good for pressure. Okay, that's usually will cause your hose to kink up if there's not enough suction. Not enough suction, your machine's not going to run properly, and it's not going to do the job. Okay, now it has a nice little hook here. You can hook it on there. So if your pressure's not right, you can go to your pressure regulator. I'm going to show a picture of that with my finger point. Into it, and then you go over there and adjust it back and forth until you get it within this mark here. Then once you get it in between the minimum and maximum and everything looks good and you try it and it's still kinking up the hose at the end of the day, you need to check your pods and see if your pods are loose. Okay, and as you can see, these pods are nice and tight, so everything's good there. If that's not the pods are loose, then inside you're either going to be the gears inside here or the gearbox itself. Typically it's the gearbox. The gearbox is stuck right or stuck left, continually going around. Okay, if you don't want to dig into this and break into the unit yet and test it, the last test that I'm going to do here is the right and left, well, right, straight, left, straight, right, straight test. And you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second here. But it's a little bit of a timely test, but it works. It works to tell you if something's going on inside. If there is something going on inside, then you would need to refer to my video. My Hayward always goes right, or it always goes left, or it stops in place and doesn't go anywhere. That's the video you need to go to on my channel there, and that'll tell you how to tear down the gearbox, get to the pods, if the pods are bad, or if this upper gear up here is messed up, and it'll show you how to get to that. But first, let's just do the test. It's quite easy. Okay. Disconnect that. And you're going to bring your Hayward. Try not to drop it down to the bottom because unless you're a good diver or you've got a good pole to get it out of the water, make sure it's good and snug. And here we go. You just hang it like this. And we're going to watch it do the right and left dance. It'll usually do 2.5 turns to the right, 2.5 turns to the left. I think it started about right there, so we're going to leave our mark right there. My finger is the mark, okay? And it's going right turn. It may be a mid-cycle, so we may have to go through 2 cycles, another left and another right, but I think that's where it just started, so it should be good. So here we go. We're almost completing 1 turn. It's about 2.5 turns. Okay, now we're going for another turn. And if we caught it right at the beginning of a cycle, this is good. Then we won't have to sit here and watch another whole right turn event here. Okay. Well, it looks like it's completed its right turn. Now it's going forward. So I guess we caught it in between a turn. So now I'll get my finger out of the way. And now it's going to go forward for a while. Like it's in the pool, it's going forward, 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 forward. And then it's going to start doing a left turn. And then it's going to do 2.5 turns, about 2.5 turns. And it should do 2.5 turns right. Okay, hope you can see this clearly in the water here. But as you can see, we're pointing in this direction. I'll keep my finger this way so we know that how many turns it's going to do. And it's a slow process, but it's a lot better than breaking these things down to make sure that you don't have just kinked up hoses or a problem like that. Okay, here we go. We're starting to go left now. Because if you have kinked up hoses, then you need to get new hoses, and that's why they're all kinking. Or you can switch them around. I usually switch them around, and sometimes that clears up the problem. If it's not a gearbox issue or something inside the unit, it's just the hoses are all getting twisted up, cooking in the sun or whatever. You know, that can happen. But for this right here, here we go. We're going into our turn cycle, going left. We have now just made, I know my finger's not very straight there, but we've already made one turn there. Okay. We're going into our second turn here. Getting close. And it's just an easy way to check it here, and then tearing it down the whole Hayward. Okay, now we've already done 2 turns. So it's about 2.5. 2.5, that's right. Coco says it's about 2.5 turns. She's a working dog. And so we should be stopping pretty soon here to go straight again. There we go. Okay, now we're going straight. So it's about then you need to check your hoses. Make sure your hoses are all straight. If they're not, what I do is I usually swap them around until I can get a good straight hose out of the deal, or you just have to get new hoses. Like I said, you're going to look for cracking and chipping and pitting and leaks and stuff like that. But usually, if one's a little crooked, you can move it around in the system here, except for this one, the main lead hose that goes to the back. You can't change that one, but you can change the other ones around and make them work if this test passes like this one did here. And you know, if you get a hose kink, like I said, you'll have to go to the video with the if it doesn't go, it goes continuously right or continuously left or stops in place. That's the video you need to go to figure out the gears inside, what to fix, and how to remove the pods. So good luck, works for me, and God bless.